Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be drawing some cat whiskers with a really simple method. In this case, a lovely tabby cat. His name's Charlie. So all you're going to need for this is a jelly roll pen, and I also use a black polychromos, but that is not necessary. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just doing some really fine lines using this jelly roll pen. This is a number 10. Now that means that it's a millimetre in thickness, I think. And then there's a 0.8 version, which is 0.8 of a millimetre, and then there's a 0.5, which is 0.5 of a millimetre. This number 10 one was quite good for this because cat whiskers are quite thick. I also like the how the ink comes out of the number 10, as the number 5 pen can be quite hard to get the ink out, and it dries up quite quickly as well. So number 10 was perfect for this. I will leave it in the description below, as this is a really good tool for doing whiskers. With cat whiskers, you really want to make sure that you're not doing that human thing that we all do, where we want kind of pattern and repetition where there isn't actually that in nature. So make sure that you're really studying your reference and seeing which direction and how much of a curve that whisker has. Each whisker should be coming out of its own little hole bit in the cat's face. You know, the little dark bits where the whisker kind of grows out of. And each whisker is kind of curving in a different direction, and some of them are different lengths, some of them really long, in different growth cycles. So yeah, just really look at your reference and study the different ways that these whiskers can kind of grow out of the fur. One tip for using these jelly roll pens is that to have like a little bit of paper to the side of you and kind of roll it out before you use it. This will ensure that the ink is flowing out of the pen really nicely, which it can be annoying when it kind of dries out. But you can do what I'm doing here, which is kind of going back and forward as you would with a pencil when you are sketching. Sorry for that background noise. Dave is having a sand bath. He goes a bit mental in there. Dave is my rodent. But anyway, we are now working on the other side, and because these whiskers are going onto a white background, I'm kind of doing the white whisker until it hits the edge of the face, and then I am following that with like a really faint graphite line, and that's just because the whiskers, while they look really white on the cat, they wouldn't look that white against a white background, so that's just that little effect there. And one really important thing to do when you're using these jelly roll pens is, what I do is I take a pencil afterwards and I'll like taper the ends of the stroke and kind of thin the line out so that it's, because the ink can kind of come out inconsistently and give you like little bits of ink where you don't want it. So I take a pencil and I kind of just thin out the line and make it look really nice and smooth. And I'll also kind of taper out the edges and make them look thinner at the end, as that's what a cat whisker kind of does, I guess. And yeah, I also blend out the bit where it goes into the face, you know, where it comes out of those little dark bits. I'll add a little shadow there just so it doesn't look so plonked on top. I try and do the whiskers like right at the end, just so that so that they go like on top of everything else kind of thing, so that there's no like shadows going on top of them, and so that they look really nice and clear. It's actually quite amazing how many whiskers come out of the cat's face. You don't really realise how many there are until you come to draw them. So I'm just looking at the reference photo. I'm probably looking at the reference about 50% of the time, and the drawing 50% of the time, if not 60-40. This is just so that I don't get carried away and start drawing things that aren't there, or doing the repetition thing that we spoke about. This footage is taken from I think it ended up being about 5 hours long tutorial from my Patreon channel. So I show you how to do this entire tabby cat, mostly in real time, some of it speeded up because otherwise it would have been about 15 hours long. So if you're interested in seeing that, then click on the link in my description and you can see that full length tutorial. I will be doing a few shorter videos on this cat as well, so stay tuned for those. And they've also got whiskers that come out of the top of their head there. Same with dogs and loads of other animals. Sorry, it's kind of cut off there. I hope you are realising how steady my table is in this video. If you see my other videos, you'll know that wobbly table, because I have my clamp attached to the table rather than to like a separate thing, and my table just wobbles incessantly. So I've decided to get like an extra pole boom stand thing, and I've attached it to that, so it's much steadier now. Still a little bit wobbly because the desk is wobbling, but hopefully I'll get a new desk soon. So I'm just going around with the jelly roll, seeing what I can do where. You can also use this pen for doing like white hairs or reflections in the eye. It's really effective for. And here I'm going in with the Polychromos in black, and that's just giving a really nice contrast with the edge of his face there, in between those whiskers, and it really makes them stand out. Just fixing the eye there because I accidentally went over it. And there I am just going over the little black holes that the hairs are coming out, the whiskers are coming out of, sorry. As the white pen's kind of gone over them a bit. As you can see, I've used that triangle technique that I speak about in my other videos for those. I need to find out what they're called, the bits where the whiskers come out. I've just used a triangle technique and made those inner bits of the triangle really dark, and that kind of looks like the hairs parting where the whiskers coming out. And I'm just refining them with I think this is a 2B pencil. Making sure there's that shadow where they come out of the face so that it doesn't look so harsh. I'm also just leaning on a plastic wallet there, just so that none of that graphite is coming onto my hand and then rubbing everything and making it all muddy. So always make sure you're leaning on something. And there we have it, guys. It's a really simple technique, only like 2 steps in that whole thing, so hope this is helpful for you, because I tried to find a technique to do whiskers for so long, like using rubber pencils and stuff like that, and it's just, this is so much easier. And more effective, I think, because you have a much higher contrast with those whiskers. So yeah, just a really short video to contrast all of my overly long videos on here. I hope you liked it, guys. Let me know if you have learnt something or if you're going to use this in your drawing. And don't forget, my Patreon channel has this entire video start to finish, and you can draw this tabby cat for yourself. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great week.